we are taken to a higher realm. So no one wants to hear of that toxic cell. The bell of our ancestors where it's felt. Passing through the gates we are taken to a higher realm. So no one wants to hear all the toxic cell. When the bell of our ancestors where it's felt. Passing through the gates we are taken to a higher realm. So no one wants to hear all that toxic cell. When the bell of our ancestors where it's felt. Passing through the gates we are taken to a higher realm. So no one wants to hear all that toxic cell. When the bell of our ancestors where it's felt. Maboyka, y tú no kina atia o no. Warhab, Musar, Zamal, Wu, Zamatatu. Bienvenido, mi hermanos, mi hermanas, Puño. Ciao. Welcome on. Well, see, this is a title. Who bad maestro? Hey, Alex, what's going on, papi? Yeah, you're powerful, man. Stuff that you've been sending me is powerful. And my aunt, Shasha Ray, Rahubat to you, my sister, Boricua sister. As you can see, from the title, this is titled PUñETA. Listen, I gotta reach out. I have spent time, can you hear me? I hope you can hear me pretty good. I have spent time, let me put this up a little bit, and this mic a little closer. I have spent time in the Black conscious community, you know what I'm saying? Because, we're Blacks, you know what I'm saying? As Hispanic people, we have that bloodline, that lineage, you know what I'm saying? And I'm going to go over that one of these days. I've touched upon it, Mali, I did my DNA, Mali and the Mali Empire, and we were spoken about that. Hey, Dirty Bronze Native, what's up? Sobrino. Hey, man. So I, so I spent time in some podcasts and doing, learning at the same time, trying to share some information with my brothers and sisters and stuff like that. I'm a little disappointed and disheartened because I've come to find out, and I haven't seen this amongst, Boricuas, about Hispanic people. I don't see this as much. But I've noticed amongst the Black scholars that right now these Black scholars that had started the Pan-Africanism and on and have done work, they're being shot at. You know what I'm saying? They're being discredited. So many things are going on. And I said to myself, wow, this is really, really crazy what's going on. So I said to myself, as far as the Hispanic is concerned, also part of the Black nation, Hispanic people in the Caribbean, I know that nothing like this is gonna happen because we cherish Arturo Chamber, we cherish Abisu Campos, we cherish Olelita Lebron, we cherish Felipito Ojeda, we cherish these pioneers, that had something to say, something to teach, something to share. We cherish that. Arturo Chamber. If it wasn't for Arturo Chamber, Marcus Garvey wouldn't have been able to reach out like that in Harlem. You know what I'm saying? Because the man lived in Harlem at a very early age. He lived in Spanish Harlem, but he spent his many time in Harlem. You know what I'm saying? So, there is a historicity there. There is a respect there. You know what I'm saying? That needs to be honored. And if you're going to debunk or discredit any of those master teachers, then you have to come with proper citations. Write a book, come with a proper citation, offer this controversy, offer this analogy, this analytical analogy, offer that. You know what I'm saying? But I'm so disappointed and disheartened, man. And the more, I get into these conversations with some of these brothers, I'm like, whoa, 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 man, you're not giving us the credit. You know what I'm saying? Not giving us the credit. You know what I'm saying? And, you know what I'm saying? I've been reading the UNESCO doc. What's up, Luis Sasa? Yep. What's up, Prince? And I've been reading the UNESCO doc, and the way that the United Nations and with these African, universities in Africa, the way they had to shift and they had to, they had to take a lot of things into consideration. And that's, I'm going to segue it over to the Tainos, because also the Taino, as indigenous people, okay, we had our glyphs. Of course, we wrote things down. There are caves in Puerto Rico with certain glyphs that actually was used as ceremonies when a particular person in the village was chosen to be a high priest, right? He had the capability. They saw the talent in him, right? They would give him the cojobo. It's a, and just it's like a hallucinative, and put him in the cave, and he would decipher those glyphs. You know what I'm saying? Then pass it on from mouth to ear. This is a cultural practice. This is an ancient cultural practice. So you have to take that into consideration. You know what I'm saying? You have to go into these tribes. You got to look at their folklores. You got to look at the way they documented their stories. A lot of times they hid it in different stories and fables. You know what I'm saying? So the United Nations know this. I got the documentation right here. They know this. They had to shift the whole African African scholar and African history, the historicity of Africa. They had to shift that around. You know what I'm saying? This is reality. You know what I'm saying? That's why a lot of these black anthropologists, okay, went and did the work. You know, like Anthony Browder, Dr. Ben, they went into these areas in the Nile Valley then to see these things for themselves. And bro, you know what I'm saying? Check the, you know what I'm saying? A lot of these master teachers, they mastered the art of certain things that they were teaching. You know what I'm saying? And so they brought this up. So let's go into the Taino thing. So that's an indigenous people, Taino, right? Taino means what good or beneficial thing can you bring into the community? So we became a Taino, right? And we broke it into different islands. Had like Quisquia Bola in Haiti, which was where Haiti and Santo Domingo sits right now. You had Cubayana, Cuba was always Cuba, Guayana, or Guayacan, something like that. I got to get the actual name. And that was the district, and then you had the island of Borinquen. At first, like the Spanish call it Guanica, Guania or Guanica, but it was Borinquen amongst the Taino. You know what I'm saying? And that island right there mainly were a lot of women, because that was the island that was designated more for, the feminine, the women. You know what I'm saying? That's why in that island, most of the Taino, it was, especially in the island of Borinquen, was a matriarchic type of civilization. The women. Even to this day in time, man, the women in my family, bro, they rule. They got the final say, yo. That's the way it is. You know what I'm saying? You brought up an Hispanic community, in Hispanic household. You know what I'm saying? So, but of course the man is strong. The man is strong. You know what I'm saying? The man, when he put his foot down, he put his foot down. Pero las mujeres, the women, they were they were the one that did for your first teacher. They were the one that took care of the house. They were first teacher, and they were the one that they were fighters. They were warriors, man. Warriors and warriors and warriors. So let me bring up to you something here. So let's do a little the history. The history behind, this is called the Taino Rebellion of the 1511. And I don't know how many of you heard of this story, but let me share it so I can read it from here. Give me 1 second. Let me share my screen. Is it on Chrome? I'm wondering. Oh yeah, it is. So I will look up here and I will share this. You should be seeing that right now, right? Let me look over here. So this is the Taino rebellion of 1550, and this is a military thing, okay? And let me see, take that shit. The Taino rebellion of 1550 was a military conflict between the conquistadors of the Castile, led by Juan Ponce de Leon, and the Taino of Borinquen, led by Agüevana II. Agüevana II. Agüevana was a chief. Now, this is his second. This is his grandson, I believe, or his son, his grandson. But the chief, Agüevana, was actually the main chief of the whole island. You know what I'm saying? The section where I'm from, where past Guayama, Patilla, Arroyo, Patilla, right? In that area, the chief was Guayane. Guayane, that was the chief. But Agüevana was the chief of the whole island. You know what I'm saying? They had a system. They had a political system that was set in place. Now, the rebellion erupted after the drowning of Diego Salcido in 1511. If anybody know about the drowning, and I'll give you the story. The rebellion lasted to 1520 when the Taino soldiers surrendered to the Spanish conquistador. Man, I'm telling you, we have this warrior blood in us. In the Taino, puñeta, we have this warrior blood. And so, you know, when the first Spaniards landed on the shores of the island of Borinquen, what they call Puerto Rico, on November the 19th of 1493, so they say, right? The Taínos saw that the Spaniards as gods upon their rivals. Go you imagine them with this metal shit on them, the hat, the metal on them. Imagine, you know, imagine them and with these fire sticks, these sticks that gunpowder and whatever, you know. So there was no real conflict between the Taino and the Spaniards because, you know, Taino was like, you know, very domesticated. They were like, oh, okay, ven pa acá, which was a settle. Let me tell you, don't take kindness for weakness. Don't do it to yourself. Don't do it. So anyway, the Taino and the Spaniards until 1508, when Juan Ponce de Leon arrived in Puerto Rico in 1508, right? Now, when gold was discovered on the island, the Taínos were forced to work in the mines, man, along with African slaves. They brought in some Africans there, and also the Africans that were there. Okay, we already spoken about that. You know, we got writings. Christopher Columbus wrote back that there was already African traders on these islands. You know what I'm saying? That lineage, that bloodline from the Mali Empire. Okay, but that's another conversation we'll go over another time. Now, often the Taino women, the women were raped by the conquistadores, man, and they're forced to have their children. You know, the conquistadores had this thing called blanqueamiento. Let's whiten this population. They need to be whitened. They need to be Europeanized, you know, Europe. So the Taino women often will kill themselves while pregnant because they did not wish to have the children of the Spaniards. Now, in 1510, the Grand Cacique of Borinquen, Agüevana, died of a natural causes, right? Control was given to his nephew. Oh, so that was his nephew. Agüevana II was his nephew. And so the Taino succession of the throne will be passed down to their nephew, knowing that the nephew came from blood and the leader's sister. It was a blood lineage thing. Ricardo, what's up? I'm waving at everybody here. What's up? Let me look over here for a minute. Okay, vaya. Now, Agüevana II had doubt that the Spaniards were gods. So he decided to test his belief, bro. Vamos a ver si esto es verdad. Vamos a ver. You're taking our kindness for weakness, bro. You're abusing us. You're abusing our women. Vamos a ver. Let's give you the test. Let's see if you for real. Boricua power. Puñeta. Boricua power. I want to test you. I want to see if you for real. If you're a real god out here, bro. Okay? So one day in 1511, Agüevana and Urayoan, the cacique Odanesco, lured a Spanish soldier by the name of Diego Salcido to a riverbank, and they drowned his ass. Yo, they headlocked him. Took him down. En la agua. Toma. Now that the Taino knew that the Spaniards were not God, Agüevana II had a secret meeting with other Taino caciques. Caciques mean chiefs. Spanish General Cristóbal de Sotomayor sent a spy named Juan Gonzalez to spy on one of the meetings. After Gonzalez reported to Sotomayor, the cacique of Utuado, right? Guarriones raided the village of Sotomayor, killing 80 and seriously wounding Cristobal de Sotomayor. Man, Taino's getting down, bro. And anybody know about curare? Curare was a poison that the Taino used to make and put them in their arrows. So when they shot it, bah! Man, them conquistadores not only of the hit of the spear of the arrow, but it will take over their body and fever, and they will get sick and die. It was poison. It's called curare. Dale curare pa que repetan. Curare. You know, so it led to a series of offenses against the Taino. Now, capturing Guarriones during a battle. These battles eventually culminated at the Battle of Yaquescas. At the Battle of Yaquescas, Spanish soldiers shot and killed Aguevana II with a arquebus. Okay? So the Spanish kept control. They kept the control of the death of Aguevana, but another rebellion erupted in 1513 after Ponce de Leon left to Florida with a band of Tainos led by Urayoan, raided and sacked the city of Caparra. There was no other significant conflict between the Taino and the Spaniards that were ever recorded. You know what I'm saying? And today's the time, man, our blood, man. I mean, we come out. I'm telling you, when they wake that sleeping giant in us, man, the Taino, puñeta, dale pa'lante, we go pa'lante. Yep. Pa'lante, nunca para atrás, como un elefante. So the aftermath, after the final battle between the Taino and the Spaniard in 1513, most Taino went back to work in the mines, you know. And in 1513, the Puerto Rican or Borinquen gold mines were declared empty. They empty out that gold that was there in that island and most of those islands. You know what I'm saying? So in 1519, a smallpox epidemic hit the island of Borinquen, Puerto Rico. You know, smallpox. They brought these diseases over. You know the story of how they used to give the Native Americans, especially up north, they used to give them those blankets that were infested with diseases, especially smallpox. You know what I'm saying? Same thing they did with the Tainos. You know what I'm saying? Killing more Tainos, man. As they say, they already said that 1,148 full-blooded Tainos were reported to be alive in the island of Borinquen. But we all know when you start doing the DNA testing, when they started doing it off of the University of Mayagüez, they found that mainly all the people who are descendants of the island of Borinquen have that genetics, that bloodline. They have that genetic. So, you know, the references, you know, you could check out the historical overview of the colonial Puerto Rico, the importance of San Juan as a military outpost. You can read that and whatever. Okay? That's an interesting story. That is a very interesting story. You know what I'm saying? Our children need to know this. You know? Those two, Aguevana II and Urayoan, okay? The two that drowned Diego Salceda, drowned him in the river. And then they stood there and to see if this guy would rise. They stood there and say, is he really a god? No, he bleeds just like I bleed. You know, he dies just like I die. You know what I'm saying? So that's historical. That's historical. That has been told, again, from mouth to ear, and also is documented. You know, the Spaniards had documented that story. They told it from their perspective. You know what I'm saying? But a lot of those stories and a lot of those historical accounts are starting to resurface. You know what I'm saying? Let me look at my thing over here. So yeah, it's very interesting when you study, you know, your history of your bloodline, you know, where you're from, you know what I'm saying, and what history. That's what I'm saying, that, you know, we're people not to be messed with, bro. We're just not a people not to be messed with. You know what I'm saying? And so that leads me to say that you cannot debunk the works of Arturo Schomburg. You can't. They have a institute of African American Studies in there in 135th Street, I believe, right? In Harlem. You can't debunk that. That's the man's work. He went around grabbing African artifacts. And he also have, scholars, books that scholars wrote out there, and even what was happening in Harlem, the Harlem Renaissance, and he documented it, you know what I'm saying? And he held it. It's like a museum. It's there. It's there. You can't take that away. Abisu Campos, you can't take that away with the work that he did. You know what I'm saying? But when you start talking about there's some element in this black conscious community that talks about Martin Luther King, Malcolm X, the thing that he was gay. There's so many things. Now they're trying to say, Dr. Ben, what's his name? Irving Van Sertima, you know what I'm saying, was just about the money. And this, it's economics at the end of the day. You can't fault that. But with Irving Van Sertima, when you look at his works, you know what I'm saying? Just because his character, just because he was a man who was more financially, gaining from the works he was doing, just because of that, now you're trying to say his work is no good? He brought us to a certain section. He brought us to an area where we could ask questions. You know what I'm saying? And we could do more research and dig. And like if you look at UNESCO, it's 835 pages, man. And I've been reading, I'm going through it, and you see, let me bring it up. I'm sorry. Let me bring it up. Here it goes. It's right here. So let me share my screen here. Yeah. Here it is. Yeah, I'm at 610, but it's 840 pages. But if you go in the beginning here, man, it gives you, and this is a UNESCO doc. You know what I'm saying? It gives you, if you look at this chapter, the prehistory of North Africa. These are documentations. And I brought up a scholar from Nigeria, a professor, and he also established a college, Thank you for watching, everybody on here. But anyway, it's crazy. It's crazy that when you have black scholars and great black men doing work in this country, how there's always that element of there's always that band of, because everybody should be questioned, right? I understand that. Prehistory of Southern Africa. Everybody should be questioned, no doubt about that. You know what I'm saying? But in your questioning, if you find any fault within any of their teachings or anything that they cited, then it's up to you to bring up a citation and to say in controversy and particularly maybe debate them if they're alive or if they're available, right? But you just can't come out here and just discredit anyone and their works if you cannot provide any counter works. It just doesn't work like that, my people. Come on, let's wake up. So I'm concentrating. I'm reading a lot about the Tainos, and I'm reading a lot about Africans. You know what I'm saying? And then I'm going to go into the Iberian Peninsula one day with the Berbers. And if anybody look into my Facebook, I did put on a couple of nice videos that I found that spoke about the Berbers. You know what I'm saying? Who are the Berbers and what do they do? You know what I'm saying? But this is just so much. This is so much. Man, this is so much. This is a UNESCO doc. Like I said, it's 140 pages. Oh man, you just gotta, go. Let me see. How do you go to the beginning of this thing here? Go to the first page. Yeah, this is the general history. This is a UNESCO International Scientific Committee for the drafting of a general history of Africa. They wanted to draft it. They found, there was problems with that. And it mentions in here, this is the methodology and the African prehistoric. You know what I'm saying? And so, it's, the problem was, again, they had to go back into use linguistics. So they had to go to different tribes, look at their linguistics, look at their agricultural, what they grew in agriculture and what's similar, and look at the linguistics and things like that. Same thing with the Tainos. You know what I'm saying? It's a lot of work being done also with the Tainos as far as dealing with the Caribbeans and dealing with certain parts of South America, like in Brazil or also in Guyana, you know what I'm saying, and most of the island of the Caribbeans, and in Florida, because the Tainos went all the way into Florida, and became the Tezqueta. The Tezqueta in Florida were Tainos, and they were in Florida, in Bimini, and places like that. So, this is a good, again, isn't the UNESCO dot. It has a lot of information here, and they give you that perspective from where they're black archaeologists, black anthropologists. These are black scholars who form this committee and to sort of like work out a method for the history of Africa. But then you got a lot of people that come on and don't even know about this. And they come on and they think that because, again, they have their own perspective, their own starting to reason on things, but they're not connecting with the bigger picture. They're not seeing it from that particular view. You know what I'm saying? So everybody carry the lenses. That's okay. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, I hope you enjoy that story with the Taino, the Taino rebellion of the 1511. And I'm sure there, there's many other rebellions that we can look at. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, I'm not gonna stay here too long. I've already been here. I'm gonna do a little half an hour. But again, I'm doing this because I really want to home in on my people. We made such a contribution to humanity, and that cannot be. You can't push that to the side. That can be sideswept. When you speak about many of these organizations, especially in black organizations, you gotta really look at these organizations and say, no, there's some Boricuas up in there. You know what I'm saying? There's some Boricuas up in there as pioneers. Pioneers, bro. You know what I'm saying? Don't push that to the side. Don't. Okay? Because you have that element. So you woke up a sleeping giant, because we're here to tell you, our ancestors before us, they did wonderful work. They contributed to humanity. They contributed to the black consciousness, to Pan-Africanism. They contribute to you. We are you. You know what I'm saying? Be proud of that. Respect that. Respect that. And because we are here putting our flag out, you know what I'm saying? A revolutionary flag right here. We're putting our flag out. Don't hate. Because we would climb the Statue of Liberty and planted our flag on the statue. Don't hate. Don't hate. We did it. Shot up House of Representatives. We did it. I mean, don't hate. We fought in every war. Don't hate. We contributed too. Don't hate. And be careful, because I'm telling you, be careful when you start coming out here and start discrediting even your black scholars, anthropologists who I hold very dear to me. Dr. Ben was half Puerto Rican. His mother was from Fajardo, Puerto Rico, Fajardo Borinquen. His mother, he came out of the womb of a woman that came from Fajardo, Puerto Rico. Hello? You know what I'm saying? Don't discredit. Tyson DeGrassi, the astrophysics. Another one. There are many. So don't discredit, bro. Don't discredit even your own people, bro. And those, you know who I'm speaking to. You know, and I'm hoping you get this. And you know who I'm speaking to. You know what I'm saying? They always try to Afanso Pata. What's up, Papa? What's up, my people on my Facebook watching? Listen, we're natural warriors. What else can I say? You seen it. 15. We've been banging since the 1500s. We've been banging like that. You know what I'm saying? And then all the way through this, we've been banging like that, bro. A couple of years ago, we banged back at Rosero in the island of Borinquen, the mayor, the governor, kicked his ass out. We've been banging. You know what I'm saying? And we're going to continue on banging for the sake of humanity. You know what I'm saying? For what's right in humanity. And I'm telling you now, there seems to be something happening between the scholarship. And when you say you're a scholar, I'm a scholar. You know why? I won a scholarship to study at New York University. A scholarship to study at NYU. So that makes me a scholar. But now I know my areas of studies. Yes, I had to take requirements. I had to take communication. I had to take linguistics. Those are requirements. I had to take psychology. Requirements. But my major was music technology, acoustical engineering, music tech, and music theater. Okay, that was my major. My scholarship is in that. So when you got people coming out here saying like, oh, is there sound in space? Yo, that's a conversation you got to have with an acoustical engineer, bro. You got to understand what space is, and you got to understand what sound is, frequencies and those tonalities. Things just don't appear going to go poof. No, things are in existence or subsisting. But that's another conversation. See, I can go there with the acoustic isotopes. I can go in there with the acoustic because that's what I study. That's my interest. I'm a musician. You know what I'm saying? But now, of course, the method of studying also has been taught. You know what I'm saying? So I'm able to reach out. I had to take an Afro-Caribbean class. As a requirement, you have to take social study class. You have to take a linguistic class. There's certain courses that you have to take as a requirement. All right? Even though that's not your major. But you had to take these courses like writing, you know what I'm saying, English. Right? So I took Afro-Caribbean. And I studied about the revolution they had in Haiti. Yeah. And Haiti is very dear, very close to Borinquen, let me tell you. A lot of Haitians went over to Borinquen. Abiso Campos spent a lot of time in Haiti. Very powerful. You know, Toussaint Overture and the revolution that they had in Haiti. You know what I'm saying? So we know all this. Those are our people too. We don't discredit that. But it seems to be an element. Man. And it's so disappointing. It's so disappointing that people got to get on these certain podcasts. They got to get up on there and, first of all, you know, discredit the ancestors like that, discredit those scholars like that, but to deal with the subject. Deal with the subject matter. Don't, like they say, ad hominems. You know what I find a lot, especially in the Black conscious community, with all these scholars, they're so bombarded by logical fallacies. Logical fallacies. Let me pull up logical fallacies, man. Come on. Let's pull up logical fallacies. We need to see this. Logical fallacies. Let me see. Where is it? I know where it's at. So let me share my screen here. I know where it's at. I'm going to pull it up. Bingo. Okay. Just bear with me a second. I need to pull it up on my files over here. Let me see and move this to the side. It's in a PDF. Oh, here, PDF folder. Right here. Now I'm going to pull it up. Let me see. Where you at? I had it. Logical fallacies. I had that shit. Just give me a second. I'm putting a look at Markham. I got a lot of PDFs here. A lot of paperwork. The Redemption. That's the ancient Mandate script, early Sibian, the Born Stone. They don't know. Oh, we're logical. Here, logical fallacies. Here we go. I'm going to bring this up. Come on. Carajo. Here you go. Check it out. You should be seeing it. Let me see. Yeah. Okay, this is from the University Writing Center, right? What is a logical fallacy? A logical fallacy is an error of reasoning which undermines the logic of your argument. You know what I'm saying? An error, faulty reasoning. And I see this a lot, man. I don't care if you from Cornell University. I don't care where you study. I have to be careful also being a student from the New York University and the Ansar Allah University, the truth. I have to be careful also. Okay? This is to be aware. So what are the 21 logical fallacies out there? There's a lot. But let me tell you something. Ad hominems. You see that a lot. Attacks on the character of a person rather than the claim that's made. Like, for instance, the candidate is an ex-felon, and therefore he is not to be trusted. Okay, that's an ad hominem. You see that a lot. Oh, he cannot be trusted. He's a liar because he's been found guilty of he's incarcerated for pedophilia. Ad hominems. Ad hominems. I'm telling you, they're full of this. Ad populum appears to popular group loyalties, not directly related to the issue at hand. Yeah, you see, there's a lot. Group of loyalties. Yeah, I'm gonna rock. I'm gonna rock with I'm a rock squad, this and that, because they got the truth. I'm a rock with the group popularities, bro. Appeal to false authority, draws an authority of widely respected people. Institution text. You know what I'm saying? Oh, because this person was this and this person was that. And you know what I'm saying? So therefore, using a professional sport figure to advertise weight loss product. That's what's called a false authority. Okay? Bandwagon appeals. Man, I see this a lot. Bandwagon appeals. Urges people to follow the same path everyone else is taking. And because everybody is talking like this is narrative and this and that, I got to join in that bandwagon. And you see this. I caught many of them doing this. Even in that podcast with Sarnetta. Many do this. They join, they get on top of that bandwagon. And that's a bandwagon appeals. That's fault. In reasoning. Circular reasoning, which is called begging the question, right? Assumes a true claim dispute is a form of circular argument divorced from reality. They just go on and on. I've gotten to, discussions, people always begging the question. I'm like, oh my God, please stop it. Dogmatism applies that there is no opposing argument. There's no opposing argument. It's dogmatism. Yo, either or choices. That's another one. Equivocation gives a lie an honest appearance as in a half truth, where everything is half truth. You just got to put those pieces of your truth, those pieces, and make sure that it matches with other pieces in science and literature and linguistics. You know, there's a lot of science. You could fit those pieces in. You know what I'm saying? It's like doing a puzzle. Faulty analogy, bro. See, there's a lot. It's an inaccurate comparison between objects or concepts. Man, they bombarded by this crap, bro. They use this faulty analogy all the time. Faulty causality. Faulty causality is an argument that assumes that because one event or action follows another, the first necessary causes the second. You know, like a murder at a rock concert was caused by violent song lyrics. You know, the real cause may have been a heated argument unrelated to the concert. You know what I'm saying? You know, guilt by association dismisses or condemns people because they have a relationship that they have. Okay? And I see this guilt by association, this faulty reasoning when it comes against a lot of Nuwapians. Oh, because their relationship, they're Nuwapians, so therefore they're guilty. That's faulty. You cannot put people all in one box. You have so many different types of Nuwapians or Sabians. You so many. There's some that are very, very versed in the metaneta. There's some that are very versed in occult science. So some that are very versed in Christianity and Jesus, the Jesus narrative. I mean, you can't do that. You can't just do that. But you see, this is how they get down. You know what I'm saying? And they're exposed. You have to expose this. Hasty generalization is an argument that draws inference from insufficient evidence. You see this a lot. Oh man, moral equivalence argues that serious wrongdoing do not differ in kind from minor offenses. All right, people who are caught with small amount of marijuana should be sentenced to jail as a felon. You know what I'm saying? That's false. You know what I'm saying? Because those are minor offenses. You know, you can't not jail them as a felon when they have a misdemeanor. It just doesn't make sense. Non sequitur is an argument in which claims, reason, warrants fail to connect logically. One point does not follow from another. And you see this a lot amongst people that you say, yo, you went to Cornell University, bro, you went to CUNY, you study, and you are you engaging in this? What do you think? People are that dumb and stupid? Ain't nobody gonna see you on this? That's what I'm saying. Study this and see how people could use it. And if I do it, pull my coat. Hey, support or capital. Hey, yo, you gotta, check it out. Peace and blessings to everybody watching. But you have to pull my coat also and say, yo, you know what I'm saying? Learn this. Red herring. Good one. Uses irrelevance to distract attention from the real issue. They do this all the time. They red herring. You're talking about a discussion about doctors, and the next thing you know, they bring up Dr. York and that he plead guilty. What does that have to do with this conversation we're having about doctrine? They do this all the time. Your Chucks do this all the time. Chuck Moore. I see it always throwing red herrings. They do this. Let's stay with the topic. Let's stay with the one. They can't do this. They just can't, because their reasoning it clicks off. Pop, and this is their defense mechanism, and then they start using a lot of these logical fallacies. Scare tactic. They always want to incite fear, panic, or prejudice. Scare tactics. Nah. Ain't working no more, PUñETA. Hell no. You know, you better if you try to scare me with that shit. Scare tactic. Always. I mean, you see the logical fallacy even within the media. You know what I'm saying? Remember, this is what's going on. And you have to be up on it. I'm learning. I'm learning to be up on a lot of things. I'm beginning to look at it like, wait a minute. Where you going with this? Sentimental appeals. Excessively using tender emotion to distract readers from the facts. Okay, that's another thing. You know, slippery slope. That's a famous one. Exaggerate the consequences of an action, usually to frighten readers. Man, I'm telling you, the conscious community, you see this a lot. Then they stacking the deck, what they call special pleading. It's an argument that focuses only on the supporting evidence and ignores the counter evidence that's cast reasonable doubt upon it. They stack the deck. They do this all the time. And you got to say, yo, what's going on? You know, Houston, we have a problem. You know what I'm saying? This is some weird ass shit. Sweeping generalization again, and the straw man argument will refute a person's actual position and substitute a distorted, exaggerated, or misrepresentative version of that position. They use a straw man argument all the time. Mom said I didn't clean the floor right. She doesn't love me. Just because your mom thinks you did a poor job doesn't mean that she doesn't love you. They do this all the time. The straw man argument, the slippery slope is famous amongst them. the red herring, the non sequitur, the hasty generalization, the guilt by association. Yo. And this is writing and speaking. Speech is a form of, writing is a form of speech on paper. And this is why when you become a writer, you have to know this, especially these people that claim to be journalism. You got to study this when you study journalism and writing, bro. I mean, come on. Like I said, aquí no, aquí no. You're not going to do it. Hold on one second. Ay, mío. Hold on one second. Let me see. Let me get back on the screen here. It's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. This is ridiculous. You know what I'm saying? So you see how, hey, familia, ¿qué pasa? ¿Cómo está? So you see, we know. We see it. We're exposed. You know what I'm saying? When you study things like this and you go like, logical fallacies, and you study writing and communication. I first came across logical fallacies at NYU. I had to take a writing course. I had to take that writing course. You know what I'm saying? And then my eyes are over like, what the hell? You know what I'm saying? This is journalism. You have to write your report and everything and make sure, and you have to do bibliography and things like that. You know what I'm saying? So, this could be applied to speech and the way people reason. Faulty reasoning. And I ain't perfect, let me tell you. By no means am I perfect. You know what I'm saying? But I know better. Puñeta, I know better. I'm going to try to limit those amount of mistakes in my life, in my narrative. You know what I'm saying? And if you're doing it, you're going to get exposed. You're going to get freaking exposed, puñeta. And that's what's happening. They don't want me in a lot of these podcasts because I'm exposed to shit. You know what I'm saying? Right? And Brother Reggie want to have this, oh, you're a good, again, that he uses that sympathy. Yo, you're a good brother. But you know, and the stuff that you revealed to me, I said, no wonder why you're going through what you're going through. You know, wonder why you're going through what you're going through. You know what I'm saying? And you hear complaining to me about certain things, and you're going through what you're going through because of that suppressive personality. You're either around a lot of suppressive people or you're antisociable. Hey, you're an antisociable person. If the shoe fit, hey, wear it. You know what I'm saying? Okay. I'm a sociable person. I'm for healing and the benefit, especially my people, my Boricua and my black people, and then humanity. European, I don't care what the hell you are. Just a song is beneficial to all humanity. You know what I'm saying? Because at the end of the day, natural nature, the one supreme being in natural nature. Okay? And I always made the analogy, and it's a valid analogy. It's not a false analogy. It's a valid analogy. Check it out. The potter's wheel. And when you mold the pottery, right? And you take the clay, it's wet, and you mold it. Then there's a time you got to sit back and you got to let nature take its course. It's got to harden. You know what I'm saying? You're not hardening that. You can't even put that in the damn oven or something like that and harden it and harden it up. You know what I'm saying? Nature's still going to do what it does, even if you put it in the damn oven. The nature of heat, it's still going to do what it does. You know what I'm saying? No matter which way you cut it. There is a natural nature, a condition. When I call nature, I mean a condition, a conditioning. Okay? That's natural nature. A conditioning is taking place. And you're saying, well, what is making this condition? It's those laws of nature. It is what it is. You know what I'm saying? It just is what it is. And that's Nile Valley science. And that's Taino science. You know what I'm saying? African science and Taino science. And even the Europeans know this. And the Chinese know this. The Mongolians. The humanity knows this. It's just there's a little section of humanity. And like I said, I don't want to be part of that little section of humanity that's going to be like that. But I find that when you go into the whole conscious community, black conscious community, you see this narrative being played out. You're like, oh man, yo need help. you really need a lot of help. You know, and I'm gonna fall back. You know why? Because people don't respect that. They don't respect it at all. At all. They don't respect. You know what I'm saying? And I ain't gonna deal with it. You're gonna wake up a sleeping giant and get, get one of those. So. You know what I'm saying? I ain't having it. I'm not having it. Cause I got that Boricua in me, and I got that Malian in me, and I got that Iberian Berber in me. Yo, you know what I'm saying? You're barking up the wrong tree. Anyway, I'm gonna leave it there. Hey, so, puñeta with a U. Thank you for that. Thank you for correcting my spelling. I'll remember that next time. Puñeta. Poñeta. I said poñeta. Yeah, thank you, Luis. You know what I'm saying? That's what I like. I like people to pull my coat. Hey, listen, correct me so I can stand corrected, and pull my coat and says, mira, papa. Hey, I see, brother. Because like I said, you forget things and you just don't know everything. You forget, at my age, I'm, 60 years old. But it's a great, it's a great experience. You know what I'm saying? So I thank everybody for chiming in. You know what I'm saying? And listen, understand one thing, and this is to the Black conscious community, to my brothers and sisters. We are you are us, man. We were there in the beginning as pioneers. We're there. We're rocking with that. Because that's us. That's who we are. You know what I'm saying? And then when you go into the Taino thing, bro, you can learn a lot. Warriors, you can learn a lot. You can learn a lot about the Tainos and the way they got down. Right there, I gave you the history of the rebellion of 1511. If it wasn't for that, man, I'm telling you. And there was a lot of battles fought after that, but the conquistador came in like, I'm a god. Oh, you're a god? Jack, let me see your god. Put you in the water. All right, let's see if he gets back up. What? That nigga didn't get up? What? That fool didn't get up? Oh, hell no. You bugging. It's like that movie 300, remember? When he says, I'm going to make his ass bleed. And at the end, boy, that spear, whah! That was the whole point. You try to put yourself as a god and you bleed? Yo, what's up with that? You know what I'm saying? But you see, that's in us. That's the power. That's the warrior in us. Now, don't come out here talking this crap. You know what I'm saying? Where are you? Us. We were there in the beginning. Man. Are you serious? We contribute a lot. Come on, man. You got a lot to recognize and to understand. You know what I'm saying? So that's where I'm at right now. You know what I'm saying? I was sent, and not that. I don't even want to say that. It's that I see it in my character personality, with my experiences that I went through, that I resonate with my people, and I'm here to share certain information with my people. Wherever you find yourself at. And then also, I'm black. I got black genetics in me. From Mali, African Mali, black. You know what I'm saying? And I've been around a lot of African Americans growing up. Music-wise, you know what I'm saying? In the same neighborhood, going to the same schools. You know what I'm saying? Yo, stop this shit. Stop it. So, the whole thing about disrespecting your archaeologists, your anthropologists, your scholars. You know what I'm saying? I was gonna bring up some scholar here. Let me see. You can't see. Oh yeah. This is deep. Kenneth Dyke. People don't know who Kenneth Dyke was. Another scholar, African scholar. Let me share it. Let me share it with you. You know what I'm saying? This is for my brothers and sisters. You don't know who Kenneth Dyke was? Onwuka Dyke, was a Nigerian educationist, Egbo Nigerian historian, and the first Nigerian vice chancellor of the nation's premier college, the University of Ibadan. During the Nigerian Civil War, he moved to Harvard University. Okay? He was a founder of the Ibadan school that dominated the writing and the history of Nigeria until the 1970s. He is credited with having played a leading role in creating a generation of African historians who could interpret their own history without being influenced by Eurocentric approaches. Yo! Debunk him! Huh? Try to. Born in Eastern Nigeria, man. Yo, this is some real shit, man. This is the University of Ibadan. Look at that. You know that? Wow. This is how I resonate. You know what I'm saying? When you look up scholars like this, it's getting dark out here. Anyway, yeah, look them up. Luis Sasa. Yeah, Sanetta has Dominican and also has family in Puerto Rico that he linked up lineage-wise. Taino. It's Taino roots. You know what I'm saying? He knows. Trust me, he knows. Especially when you get to a conversation with a brother like me, sometimes private conversations, he has my phone number, I have his. And we talk, he knows. He knows where it's at. He knows also the Latinos that were involved with Khalid Muhammad. And he knows how Khalid Muhammad felt. Like this rice and beans. He knows. He knows, brother. You know what I'm saying? That's nothing new. Anyway, I'm going to leave it there, bro. Just want to try not to say Anacaona, India de la hora cautiva. I'm probably butchering that, but anyway, yeah. Arreto. Yeah, I'm going to do an Arreto live on here, on StreamYard, and Arreto. We're going to do music, sports, you know what I'm saying? Maybe do some type of mental sports and do some music, play some music. There's a lot of nice music out there, bro. Anyway, peace and blessings to everybody. Thank you for coming on, you know what I'm saying? And I'll check you guys out later, papi. Dirty Bronze Native, Alex Rivera, Hansu, my brother, Dirty Bronze Native, Jen says, interesting. Luis Salsa, Arurhu. Hey, for the herbs, Arurhu, man. Yo, Alfonso Patar. Let me go up here. Let me see. Man, you guys are Cheo Feliciano. Yeah, Anacaona, Cheo Feliciano. Yeah, but you know who wrote it? Tito Cure wrote that. Yeah, Prince Eli, Raúl Bat, Maat, Ricardo Rivera, Reyes, Senatum Reyes, Alfonso Patar, Samuel, my esteemed elder, I love you. Josian, ¿qué pasa? Luis, thank you for holding on in there, brother. And I appreciate you. And yeah, you know how it is. And thank you for correcting me on the spelling. I will try to edit it and fix that up. But cariño, nice. And I know a lot of you have heard of this story before, but I just read it from you from online, and that's the rebellion of 1511. You know what I'm saying? And like we said, PUñETA. You know what I'm saying? We're warriors by nature. We're warriors. We're gonna test things out. You know what I'm saying? And right now, I'm telling you right now, on this social media and this thing, especially when I engage this black consciousness community or whatever, bro, you're waking up a sleeping giant, and there's gonna be a warrior out here. All right, there's gonna be warriors coming in and setting your record straight. We're setting the record straight. Stop your shit. Stop your shit. It's getting ridiculous. Okay, we're in 2022. Damn it! Come on. I gotta of guys trying to come at me who's coming with information from the 1600s, right? But they stuck in the 1600s. They're not 2022. They can't go further than the 1687, and they can't go further than that. You know what I'm saying? I know about 1511. I know all of that, but I tried to go take it even to the modern time. What happened in the island of Borinquen with Oroselo. You know what I'm saying? You know, it's life. One of the laws of nature is constant change. It's change in nature. It's change. You know what I'm saying? But things change for either for the better or for the worse. Let's just keep going for the better. You know what I'm saying? Create that legacy. Anyway, peace and blessing. I love you all. And I'm out. Tranquilo.